she gonna go out of town and she gonna need somebody to watch Hank, and she gonna call Clinton, be like, "Hey, can you watch Hank for me?"
And he's gonna be like,
Yeah, of
bring him
course.
on.
Come on, come on. And then next thing we know,
Next thing we know, she's just gonna be picking up Hank and going back to her apartment.
look, next thing we
Right.
gonna be leaving his apartment at 6 a.m. talking
Nah.
about it got a little late.
I don't think so. I think that she would. I'm with you, Artika. She gonna just come pick up her dog.
She might like stick around and give the how you been, blah blah blah. You dating anybody? Just any of those little friendship questions for your friend that you haven't seen in a while. But I don't get potential romantic vibes from them.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
I'm about to ask them who is the next couple y'all want us to do.
Yeah.
Wasn't prepared for that, but all right, we're gonna keep it moving.
Right.
JacnGlen had another power surge, so they'll be back. They're coming back now.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's pretty cool. I never noticed that because they started the live, right? And it doesn't affect the rest of us. So that's,
that is dope.
I'll tell you
Now
how.
I wonder. Never mind. That's something we'll talk about later. Did he say who we
No,
go
not
to?
yet.
All right, well, let's just go to somebody next. And
I
then,
know who we gonna have at the end.
who is that?
Kirsten and Shaquille.
Oh,
I
well,
already
let's
know
go
that's
with
gonna be the last.
let's go with
couple.
Nicole and Chris then, because like they're so boring to me. But it is what
Oh,
it
that's
is.
who he said, Nicole and Chris.
Nicole and Chris. All right, Talisa, you go on the head off.
All right, because I'm agree with you. They are very much so boring. Very much so safe. And
That's a better word. That's a better word. Safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the couple that we know will say yes at the end, right?
Yeah.
And I like that her dad is coming around to Chris, is opening up to Chris. I don't know if it was, last episode or this one. Was it this episode that he said he need BDE? Was it this episode?
That was last episode.
Last one. But I agree that maybe just a little bit of that would help him. But she likes him. She likes him. Yeah, I don't know.
That's why you are absolutely right. She says, I think Nicole and Chris have issues that they're not addressing.
What are they? What do you think that one of them could possibly be?
Nicole, I think that she has a self-worth, self-love issue that she needs to address, because it's just talking about her past relationships has definitely been like, girl, you didn't know any better. Like
that whole burn thing. Every time they
that
bring
burn
it up,
thing bothers me.
It bothers me. If you love me, you let me burn you. Then guess what? I must not love you because
I don't even like you.
What? Let me get my things and go, because this is where are we going with this?
The buck stops here.
Yeah.
Man, the idea that somebody would actually ask somebody that is wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of manipulators that are like that would ask those types of questions.
I'm just like my whole thing about that is, if you know you're a type of person like that, how do you keep from putting yourself in a situation? Because like, you think about it like this: if she knows her personality is like that, why would married at first sight be a thing that she wants to do?
Because she keeps picking guys that are like that.
Her picker
So she wants to try to be like, okay, well, if I keep picking these terrible people, let somebody else do it for me.
It's just weird. I think Chris don't think he's pretty. I honestly think that's what it is. I have image issues, and I think she has image issues as well. But Chris doesn't think he's pretty. So because the thing that stands out this whole episode was he was talking about. Well, was it this episode? He was talking about he don't feel worthy of love.
That was this episode.
It was this one, yeah.
Like that's when they were doing the fishbowl question.
Yeah. That's tough. You don't feel worthy of love. And you have to generalize it because we all know we love each other differently, right? He don't feel worthy of any type of love. That's the way I took it. Like any type of love, like love from your mother.
Jump off the deep end though,
man.
Like,
all in it.
But
I'm gonna go.
I'm Let's go. Let's jump off the cliff in the deep end because I
Right.
like
Because you gotta be I was gonna say Pacific. You gotta be specific. You gotta be specific about that because it's like it's different types of love. And if you don't feel worthy of any of it, there's the problem. Like,
it
why are
made
you
me
in this
question, do you
situation?
love yourself? Like it
Right.
was the self-love. And somebody also said she has Nicole has self-esteem issues in the chat. And so for both of them, what does self-love look like for you?
Right. Do you know how to love yourself? And see, that was the thing for me. It was like a situation right when I met, like the day of, I'm like linked up with Artika. I was like, this is comfortable. Being like I was a single male, living down here, had my own place, had a job in a car. I was like, well, I'm good. If this is life, then I'm straight with it. So I felt a comfortableness about myself. So I knew what I loved about myself. And then I got with her and then learned how to love her. So it's like, do these people know how to love themselves to actually love each other? Or is it this was a TV show that'll match me up with a husband, or this is a TV show that'll match me up with a wife, and we don't make it past the 6 month mark or the year mark, So I'm sorry, Talisa, I just interrupted you.
No, I was done, and everything you said, I partially agree with most of it.
Most of it. Okay, that's fair.
I partially agree with it. Most of it.
That's fair. Appreciate it.
I mean, you guys are right. They do. She needs counseling. I think coming into this process, she has been hurt so much. I think I talked about on our review. If she was my daughter and she told me, "Oh, this dude burned me,"
but remember she didn't tell it.
Her mom figured it out, and her mom acted like she didn't know. You can't come to my house and feel like you've been abused and not say nothing to the abuser. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with her mom not doing anything when she told the story, because that means to me when you don't do anything, you kind of condone it. I think that was a big issue behind that, and I think that contributes to her trauma now of wanting to be accepted, wanting to be liked, wanting to be loved, wanted to keep asking him over and over again, "Do you love me? Do you love me?" And I think that's one of the issues she has. She has a lot of self-esteem issues, and she in the chat, she's been through counseling. I can see people say she's been through counseling, but sometimes going through counseling, what did she get from it, right? What did you learn from it? And Chris, again, has his own issues dealing with body, because he said it before, his body shaming issues that he has. So there's some things they're gonna have to work on in a relationship. I think I told Jackie, we were talking about it maybe on our review when we said it. I said my biggest thing is what happens when they really get into that first argument, right? Because you're gonna be married, y'all still love each other, you still care about each other. I kind of agree with her. What happens when we get in that first argument, that first disagreement? To me, she seemed like she's passive aggressive, because look at what happened to the lease. She didn't even mention anything when the lease situation came out, and he said, "Well, I'm gonna do 9 months." She didn't say, "Oh, you know what? Why don't we do month to month?" She didn't really challenge him. And so I wonder, is she gonna be just so anything he says goes, because she doesn't want to lash out, because she know how she can be? And at what point do she stop being? We see the real Nicole, like her dad says. The real Nicole. You're gonna stand up, the one that's aggressive, the New Yorker Nicole, not the Tennessee Nicole, because there's a New Yorker Nicole that she has. When are we gonna see the New Yorker Nicole? And can Chris handle the New Yorker Nicole?
I feel we have seen the New Yorker Nicole when she went off about that picture. Mm-hmm. And I think right now she's relegating it to things that aren't directly connected to him, because she's not trying to drive him away. So I think we see the New Yorker Nicole. It's just for other things. But I felt the same way to Lisa and Artika when she told that cigarette burn story. I was like, ooh. And I don't know how her mama did not go to that boy's house, that man's house, whoever it was house, and just flip the tables over, because there's no way.
Was she a child, like teenager, when this happened?
I think she was early. I think it was early in, like late teens, early 20s. I think it was really early.
I couldn't remember her placing it with the date, but a lot of times when Nicole starts talking, I zone out.
I don't understand.
She talks a lot. Sometimes about edit. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like, I don't know. I can't even explain it. But she talks a lot. Sometimes it's about nothing, or I don't know. Anyway.
Like she don't like. I don't understand her dynamic with her dad, and why. Like your dad is there, but then you looking for love in all the wrong places.
Well, sometimes you can be present but not be a presence.
And that was the thing too. It was like how they described their relationship when she was growing up, them the divorce and how it affected her and stuff like that. But it's like, how does that translate into relationships? You know, and why did, like, my question, just to dig deeper, is why wasn't that addressed? If she went to therapy and all this stuff, like, why wasn't that addressed? Because your thought process, your immediate thought process is, she got a daddy, her daddy was in her life. Why did she think that being burnt by a cigarette was okay? Or that's how love is expressed. Like,
It's translated.
yeah, it's like, why did that happen? You know, because I'm like, if that's like being a part of your child's life, like, what else did he, what, like, where was the miss with them?
We don't know how her daddy was.
That's what I'm saying. Well, like, what was the miss there is what I'm more interested in, because that relationship, in my eyes, the daddy-daughter relationship, helps groom the daughter to be a wife, because the daughter is going to be like, how did my dad treat women in his life, or how did he treat my mom, or, you know, how did he treat me and stuff like that. And it's like, well, how did your dad treat you? Reason why you're thinking it's okay for men to treat you any type of way. You know,
but she did mention how you know, that they didn't have a good relationship, or the dad did. They didn't have a good relationship. She was always running from him. So, you know, she didn't get the affection that that he was providing, because she was mad about, you know, the divorce between her mother and father. So you know, that might be a thing.
A weird reaction to divorce. My dad is a person that had a weird reaction to divorce when his parents got divorced.
Wasn't he grown?
Yeah, my dad was very much so an adult. Like, very much so an adult. Almost 30.
I don't know.
I guess that's your dad, though. They had been married for a long time. If he was
my grandparents were
at
married
a big age.
Yeah, well, he was in his 20s and they had been married close to 30 years by the time they got a divorce, and my dad had a very bad reaction to his parents getting a divorce.
But Talisa, you said the same thing that I was going to say. You know, the dad talked about how in her teens she had such a bad attitude and they didn't get along or whatever. But I'm trying to translate that to, like, you know, what Tommy said. I don't know how that would drive you to a man that would, like, that you would let burn you. I guess just wanting to be in love, like, still, dog, that's crazy. But yeah, so her dad was there, but like Artika said, we don't really know how her dad was. But I tend to think, based on what they said, it was probably more her with the teenage attitude, and it's because of you. Maybe she blamed him for us not having a perfect family. You know, you never know, but I don't know.
But she's suffering from that now, because in her relationship, she's trying to, and there's nothing wrong with pleasing your spouse, but in a relationship, you're gonna have those hot moments. And I'm, like I said before, I don't know how she's gonna be able to handle the hot moment if he says, you know what, I don't like this, or I don't want to do this, or this. And I'm not talking about because of a shirt. I'm talking about a serious situation, not because he don't want to wear the shirt that doesn't look right. But I'm talking about, hey, we're gonna have to move, because we saw how she backed down when it came to the apartment. So when these 9 months are up, let's say it's not even that, if they both signed a 9-month lease, in the end of the 8 weeks, where are we standing? Because she was adamant that she didn't want to stay apart. So that's just something hopefully they talk about in these 8 weeks, these 4 weeks left, if they stay together. All right, we both have these 9 months lease. What are we gonna do? Or if he loses a job, okay, you know what? We want to lose weight together. Let's work hard at it. Let's do this. Or Lord forbid, one of their dogs got to get put down. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough situation.
One of his, because he got the
right. I mean, really, one of his, or she gonna have to come to him and say, you know, you might want to put, because this is costing us too much money, or it's not feasible to take care of. How are we gonna handle this?
and I hate to be what's the word? I hate to add levity, but can I just go back to Tommy saying that Chris feels unpretty? No, I'm sorry. When he said Chris don't feel pretty, all I could think of unpretty. I love it, Tommy. I know he's not right there, but I love it. I said, "Nah, make me feel so unpretty."
He can hear you. He's a bit from over here.
Okay, sorry.
You guys, anything else on Nick, Chris, and Nicole that you think they I think they're the best couple on the show right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're boring, not kind of boring, but they're good.
Yeah, I think they're the best one right now.
The thing I was gonna say, I think, was last week, so never mind.
No, go ahead, bring it up.
Well, listen. Sometimes I have to watch all of it together, and it just melds together. And it was about the thick conversation. Was that last week?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on. It's okay. Let's move forward.
That's okay.
No,
But look, Glenn was by himself last week. So
I was by myself last week.
Oh, okay.
He did it. I have fell asleep and everything.
Yeah, but I want to ask you, ladies, that though, do you feel offended when a guy call you thick?
No.
Or is it just another culture?
And it's a different culture. That's what I was gonna say. It's culture, because she was like, and I guess the way he said it to, our culture, you call us thick, we like, yeah, their culture is thick is a bad word. It's like, it seems like a curse word to them. And I was like, girl, let somebody call me thick, I would be like, thank you.
120-pound Artika couldn't wait to be called thick. I'm like, y'all mad about this? You need to get you a black friend.
Get you a black. You need a black friend quickly. Even a Latinx friend, maybe. You know.
Yeah, you're right. They don't mind being called thick either.
No.
Like you be like, yep, you see it.
But I guess he did mean it in a more not a derogatory, but a less appealing way. In the, she's thicker than what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I can see where it could be less appealing. And I'm trying to think, if someone told me you're thicker than what I'm used to, and I'd be like, well, this is all the goodness that you're gonna ever need. That's my I don't know. But that's being, stats at the comment. So I don't know if somebody said you thicker than what I like. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how I respond. I don't know. I probably wouldn't respond nicely. Y'all be eating good. She eating chicken. Is that like chicken wing? You fried food? What you got over there?
So my neighbor gave us a garbage bag full of whole chickens.
Wow.
I thought I was thawing out like some leg quarters, but it was 3 whole chickens. And so Tommy's been in the kitchen, which is why he keeps leaving, and he's preparing them 3 different ways. He's frying some, he has some in the air fryer, and some in the oven. And he just was like, "You want a wing?" I'm like, "Well, I mean,
yeah."
But
Tommy always got snacks.
But she 3 whole chickens though.
Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
we talking about thick, right? Back to because he was trying to cover himself though in the thickness comment, and I understand that he was trying to make sure he was. When she watched this, I want you to know I said it, so ain't no rumors going on. So he was trying to cover himself. So I mean, if that's the worst they can have by him calling her thick, at least they're working out together now.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Cause he ain't, he ain't all. He's not athletically built himself. Okay, he got a little dad bod, a little one on the rising right here. He got a little flab happening. So you better watch
right.
I was about to say muffin top. Men don't have muffin tops, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I'm not joking. I got a little something on the side too. I'm not saying anything like that, but it's all good though. Oh man, let's move on from Chris and Nicole. Let's go to Eris and Jasmine, and I'm gonna start with who. I don't know. We was power outage, so we don't know who started last time. So I'm gonna
start with y'all. Let's start with y'all.
Yeah.
Look, I was gonna say start with us. I was gonna say start with us because y'all over there chowing out on the chicken, and Charlize chilling. And look.
Hey, this chicken good too, man. I put my foot in this.
Look, it looked good. You put your foot. It looked good. Look, you threw some season on there. Make my. I ain't gonna be like my man. You make my stomach bubble. But anyway, oh man, Eris and Jasmine.
Yeah,
I'll start with you. Because I'm gonna start talking about Eris because people be coming to send me bad comments when I talk about Eris.
My main thing with them when they sat down to talk with Dr. Pepper is Eris talked about how he's not physically attracted to Jasmine and all like that. And Dr. Pepper's face, he was like, well, I've had a lot of people, I've lost a lot of people. And so that's why I have a hard time connecting. And I feel like somebody's going to leave me. I'm going to get hurt. And I was like, that might be true. But I wish he had just told Dr. Pepper, she ain't got a big enough butt for me. I don't think she's pretty enough. I was like, where did this come from? Well, I feel like you're trying to be extra deep for Dr. Pepper. That was my thing. And Jasmine was like, I mean, I know about people passing away, but I didn't know it affected him like that. But that's the first time I'm hearing it. So for me with Jasmine and Eris, I feel like they're not going to get anywhere because then when they were asking the questions, Jasmine had shut down. And I told my husband, I think she did because she was like, what's the point? Like, you don't like me. You don't really care to get to know me. Why are we doing this? And it's sad because she was so hopeful at first, but she's so shut down now.
Oh, she's done. And he did it. And like I said, I'm not supporting Eris. No, he did it. I mean, for him to be this far gone and for her to get to the point, you can tell she shut down because when he was reading them notes, if it wasn't for production telling her to stay in that kitchen, she'd have been gone. She gave him the whole black woman face, like, Negro, please. Like, don't talk to me. Don't say nothing to me.
I don't know.
I don't know. The short.
I answered that already.
When a woman start giving you short answers, the one-word answers, bro, you're in
trouble.
You in trouble. And he knew he was in trouble, but he still, I gotta go through this anyway. Nah, what he should have did was, you know what? Cut the game. Can we have a serious conversation right now? Because that's the point where you know what? Go off script. I know y'all want me to read these fishbowl questions, but this ain't it. You're not the same Jasmine. If he really cared about her, he'd have been like, you know what? Let's go.
If he had read the room.
Right, if he had read the room. We already know Eris has a problem reading the room. All right? If he would have read the room, he would have been like, you know what? Bump these questions. Let's have a serious conversation.
If he actually cared.
I said that. Mm-hmm. Like, what's going on?
I'm going to reiterate. If he actually cared.
Like, what's going on? Let's have a conversation. Let's figure out where we at. Let's be honest with one another. Let me tell you why I don't want to, go to the next level with you. Even when he sat down with Mom, they did really get into the whole nitty gritty. Mom, like, well, I hope they can work out. I hope they can make it.
Cause he tried to play the mama too, like he tried to put on for Dr. Pepper.
But she's done. I think he does somehow kind of reconnect with her some way, but I think she's done. This relationship's over. I don't see if they can do it. I don't think they can do it, and I hopefully. You think about it. She started off feeding my man in a bathtub. She started off catering to him, doing all the things that he wanted to do. Now she's to the point she's turned off on him. She don't even care if he comes to work, come home, and whatnot. She at the point now, let me go walk my 4 dogs and leave the dog I got at home alone. And I'm not talking about the dog. I'm talking about Eris. But that's what she feel though. She's like, yo, I don't know if I want to know where it turned at for them. I want to know if did it turn when the sexual comment, or did it turn when she found out that he had slept with a mutual friend of hers? Or did it turn for him when he found out that she knew the mutual friend that he slept with? And maybe because she already talked about her self-esteem issues that she had. I'm just now starting to love myself. I'm just now starting to feel myself. And now that I'm married, I went through this process and I'm trying to be a good wife or a good woman. And the guy that I'm married to is not even attracted to me.
I want to pass it to y'all because I have this question. Because I told my husband, I feel like, I don't know when they talked to Dr. Pepper to when they did the fishbowl, but I feel like something happened between there too for why she had an attitude. I said something happened.
I was wondering, I was just telling Tommy that I wish we could have seen that conversation when she found out that he had sex with the mutual friend, because it seemed like something happened from her finding out that information, and she was just like, I'm not really trying to do this anymore. And then agreeing with you also, Jackie, like it got even worse from Dr. Pepper to the fishbowl. Because at the fishbowl, she was really just like, I am here so I don't get fined. She became Marshawn Lynch. Like, don't ask me nothing. Don't say anything to me. What's the question again? Nothing ever happened to me like that in my life before. I don't got nothing. That was it. Like, no, you what? Yeah, my parents are married. Love me. Yep, great. That was literally how she responded to every question. And something had to have happened, because there's no way that you go from, I need to learn how to speak up for myself because this is what I tell the girls that I work with. And then you go right after that to, I don't have anything to do with this conversation. Like, can we just go lay down and not even together? Just leave me alone. You move. I'm going to go this way. You can go ahead.
Oh, well, unpopular opinion. I think,
Always.
I think, I think Eris showed up this episode, and the reason why I say that is because he could have done the same thing she did. Like, it pissed me off the fact that she just didn't answer the question. Like, yeah, Lee, this is what you said you wanted. I don't care if something happened or something didn't happen. You tell them, hey, I don't want to do it right now. We're gonna have to do it later, whatever. But don't say, hey, I want him to open up more about whatever, and then you don't reciprocate it, even if he hadn't been doing it the same. Because at the end of the day, if you want this, if you want this marriage to work, you have to, it's not going to be a 50-50, like a tit for tat type of deal. You have to, okay, that happened, forgive and forget real quick. And you sat there, talked to the expert. The expert said, hey, well, you guys, I'm going to give you these cards for you to talk about, to dig a little deeper. I just heard a song. You got to dig a little deeper.
I did too. I said
But like it's and for Aris to be like, and you could tell, like, I was getting mad just like he was. Like, every question, I have nothing. You had 2 times to do that, and I'm not asking you no more.
Yeah.
Like, you asked the questions and then you answer, and I'll let you know. But you can't do that in a marriage or in a relationship. So it's like, God, we all, like, I think we're all in agreement that they're gonna say no. I can say I do appreciate the conversation between her mom and him, because I can sit down and talk to my mother-in-law about anything, and it's going to be a conversation that we have, even if I'm talking about her daughter. And I feel like that's one of the most important relationships when it comes to marriage, just because mom knows her child, you know, and it's just a very important relationship. I mean, yeah, relationship. So I was just disturbed by Jasmine's lack of at the end. But like, when they were talking to Dr. Pepper, okay, you guys are talking to each other about things you didn't know, and digging deeper in there. And I'm thinking they're finna come, on a high, on the rise or whatnot. But then, whatever happened between there and them questions, like, it just failed. So I think, yes, I believe that they're gonna say no, and I think it's gonna come from a lack of trying from both of them. Like, I think she's over it, and he's never wanted to be in it, because he gonna get done with the show. Now, mark my words. Today is March something. So
26.
today's the 26th. March 26th. I said Aris is gonna be with the chick that he hit 2 weeks before he found out, because he wanted to be in a relationship with her. And Jasmine, like, we know what it is. The girl he picked is cuter and everything than the girl they picked for him. So that's probably what it is. She probably got a big butt and a cute smile, but BBD said don't trust that. And so there you go.
Tommy, I felt the way you did for a minute. And I know I've been a big Air supporter. Right? And y'all know that. I felt the same way that you did for a little bit. Like, you know what? She should be answering dude questions. But I learned a long time ago, when a woman's fed up,
ain't nothing you can do about it.
Y'all can't sing that, man.
Ain't nothing you can do about it. And you can tell she was fed up. It ain't nothing he could do about it. And I've learned it could have made it. And I felt bad for him too. I really did. Like, you know what? He's trying. I can see him trying. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? She's already gone. She is like out. And like when she's out, and you know, and this is one of those moments. Y'all, you ain't been there. Those watching, you've been married. There's one of the moments when you and your spouse ain't clicking, and y'all walk past each other like y'all roommates. You ain't said nothing, and that's where she's at. I think she's right now. I'm not saying she ain't ever gonna change, but at that moment, whatever happened before they got on camera and she didn't want to feel it, it was enough. But you know what?
Tomato. Okay, tomato. That's what I say about Eris and this whole relationship. And I'm gonna just go back just because Glenn was by himself. When he had COVID and he said that he gave her a 7 out of 10 on the way that she was taking care of him, sir, you need to give her a 10 out of 10 because this girl don't know you from Adam. She done made you some soup. She in there cleaning up. She checking on you. I'm gonna do the best I can, sir. How dare you? The arrogance of it all. All right, I digress from there. But honestly, I agree with you, Tommy. I agree with you, Tommy. And yeah, I get that we walk by when we're together and we mad and we do be like, but this is a new relationship. And she comes off the heels of saying, I want to have a deeper conversation. I don't want to talk about sex all the time. And the conversation is happening. I really feel like not only is she like in a weird space about their relationship, but I feel like she says, I help when the girls speak up for themselves. I feel like she's still working on that for herself. So she doesn't even know how to answer the questions when being asked, even the things that she doesn't like. I feel like she's still working on that for herself, saying, well, I don't know. Sometimes on the spot, you really might not know until you know how to like analyze and think about that stuff, considering she had a decent childhood, right? Because most of those questions were asking about when was a time, how do you feel when? But she said the most thing I'm worried about right now is our marriage. So we know that she knew what that was because that was in her face. But I do think that she should have taken the time and actually answered some of those questions, or said, I ain't feeling this right now. Let's talk about it on another day, but we can't because we are, asked to speak about it. But I always say, if I was on Married at First Sight, they couldn't tell me what I had to talk about. I'd be telling them, not today. I'm getting fine. And on the thing, I'd be saying, not today. I don't feel this fishbowl today. We could just sit here and look at each other just so that we can be in compliance. But I don't want to. I don't like it. I don't want to. I don't like you right now. For whatever the reason is, I think that would have been better than, I don't know. Well, I can't. We talked about that already because we did talk about it already. But remember what we talked about? Let me expound. But, I don't like him. So it don't matter. I'm not trying to give him a pass. I'm just saying that she could have shared something. Because I don't like him. I think he's a total asshole. I really, really do. Like, hands down. Yeah. FAMU Chick said he thinks he's the prize. Y'all know how I feel like he thinks he's the prize, and he is not. It's just not a thing. It's not. What makes you so above her? I don't like him. And so I hope that she just really be like, I'm in it so I can get the rest of my money. But y'all say she tried. She be in it and look like she tried. Somebody said a clip showed that she's jealous. I don't be watching all that stuff. So that's all I got, because I agree with mostly everything you said.
Hey, hold on real quick. Wouldn't y'all love to see Talisa on Married at First Sight? That would make
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
That would make some great TV.
Not at all. Because Talisa don't want to be married. So no, not at all. It would be a horrible situation for whoever they paired me with. They'd be like,
some of these people don't want to be married neither, Talisa. Some of these people don't want to be married neither. So guess what?
Speaking of which, though, I will say that if there are some like single hetero men that are in my area and that watch this show, so that I can have somebody sit on the couch with me, reach out. We can sit on the couch at the park or something, because I don't know if I'm gonna know you well enough. But I'm just saying. I want to be like. And
that's what we be doing.
But look, some of what I be telling him, I'll be like, be quiet, let them talk. But
and we be talking about everything, not what we're actually talking about here. Tommy, I was like, go
y'all be
baby while you getting up.
I'm like,
y'all be doing all kinds of stuff.
Can I say that? I want to address the last thing that Talisa said. Yeah, I saw somebody in the comments say this, because I think somebody made a comment on one of our videos. Because when I was like, Eris wasn't all that. Somebody made a comment like, well, Jasmine ain't either. But here's the difference. Eris keep pumping his, I'm a 12 for her. That's what I mean by Eris ain't all that. Like, bruh.
Yeah.
Come on, lower your number a little bit.
Yeah, you're an average dude. You average.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Jasmine is, but she is the beauty queen. So contrary to popular belief with Eris, somebody thinks something of her. So, but the difference is the attitude about it.
Yeah,
that's my problem with Eris. Why we saying he ain't all that. He ain't no pride. His face don't even move when he talk.
I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and log off.
What I'm like, what? All these little apple cheeks and they don't even move. Come on. Okay, I'm done.
Is there anything Jasmine can do?
No, she don't need to do nothing. Eris need to do something. Okay.
When Dr. said, did you ever stop and think that it wasn't you and maybe it really is him? Like that was the light bulb that I think she needed. Mm-hmm. Because we're looking at a man who is practically 40. His claim to fame is I've never been married. Basically, I'm a savage out here in these streets. And then you're presented with someone that is everything that you say that you wanted. And you like, she ain't fine enough for me.
Sir.
Go away from me with this. Go away from me with this. It's and then lied, because in the beginning confessionals it was my wife is beautiful, and then it's like nah, but she won't have sex with me, so she really like a fool.
Right. She can't say what her favorite position is, so you know what? Because I feel like if she would have been like, yeah, I like it from the back, it'd be a different on that honeymoon. It would have been a different, I like reverse cowgirl. She would have given him some of that. He would have had a different outlook on her, because all he can see is she's too reserved, because she ain't never kissed a girl and liked it, or had a threesome, or whatever that stuff was from last. I thought you was an idiot. You stupid.
Like, but then you're supposed to do all that before you get married.
But he gives up. But that's the case. He gives up because he said that he was trying to convince her to get there. He said before it's over. What did he say? I'm
trying to bring the demon out.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring the demon out of her. But you ain't trying to do that. You quitting.
Right. You not attracted to her, because if you was really trying to get on demon time by now, because she didn't tell you that she wanted her clothes ripped off by now, it would have been done, and she probably would have turned him the entire out. You understand me? He would have been looking with his nose open. That's what you ought to be afraid of. Them reserved quiet girls is the ones you better watch.
You see what he just said?
Okay, I need to log off because of J-Dub's comment. I'm a big y'all to do.
Just saw it.
J-Dub, my man. Look, hold on. I gotta put it up here. Hold on.
I'm gonna bid you guys a deal.
Look, I ain't
said what we all was thinking. He just said.
I mean, yeah.
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 That was one of the first things I noticed. So he's just saying.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
You're right, Jay. He does want to curse it. He wants a girl who got a little thickness down bottom. He wants somebody that got some.
And speaking of Kirsten, She is
Yes,
the thickest of the 4 women on the show that are left, and she was the least offended
right.
by Clint's
Mhm.
thick comment.
Cause she knows she got a big butt and a smile.
She
Yeah,
was
she
like,
got
I'm
a
thinking I work for
my
this.
She knows.
Right.
You know,
She
it's
said, I got a
called
big
All
Davis.
right places.
I want him to He said, I
No,
don't care. Big button smile. Let him go ahead and paint it. I'm probably since you talk about Kirsten, I'm mad she put on a white bathing suit to get painted.
Right, because that's gonna be ruined when you get ready to take it off and get paint all over it.
She must
man,
don't
that's the
care about
last
that
thing
baby.
anybody was thinking.
Nah, that's one of the first things I was thinking. Like, why is that what you put on?
That's well, okay. What was Tommy thinking about?
What were you
I
thinking,
was
Tom?
like, right on, Shaq. Do your
But we're
thing.
talking about what Kirsten was thinking, not what
That's what Tommy was thinking.
we're talking about. Kirsten.
No, I don't know what she was thinking, but I know what Shaq was thinking. Shaq was like, this is not a miss for me. He was like, I got a GTD tonight. Gotta be something, you know. But I'm like, this couple makes me smile because they have worked through some stuff, and you got to see it progress, and that's ultimately what I be wanting to do. You go get him. They're just that couple, man. We knew that she liked him, but she tried to play hard to get because that's what she's accustomed to. She didn't have to open up for people. I think she was in like a very long relationship, her last one, and I don't know how that that went, but they broke up. So now we're looking at it like, okay, how does she open up to this man that she likes, that she want to act like she don't like, but we all know and see that she likes him. She's missing the forehead kisses and stuff like that, and I'm like, why'd you kiss him? A forehead kiss, what does that do for you?
I don't know that she actually likes him now that I reevaluated my thoughts about this episode. I think that she did not like the fact that he was willing to be like, I mean, you cool, but I got other stuff to do.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was her response to, I am desirable. You should desire me.
But
and so she was like making her think, hey, what's up?
She like that dude.
I don't know.
Ain't no way around it, man. She like that dude.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to agree. I think she do like him. I do. I think especially when she was standing up and he was up there rubbing that paint on her, on her, and the way she was looking at him, I was like, oh, she looked like he could get it. Like that's how she was looking at him. Like, well, you could get it. Like she was very into it. And then that kiss, child, I said, all right, y'all, with the little.
That kiss was nasty.
It seemed a little rushed, like he was scared at first when he put that. I was like, you about to choke her with the
I know he saw something.
Yeah, and then all of
He
a sudden
saw something on TV he wanted to try. He saw something on TV he wanted to try, and he said, "You know what? This is the right opportunity."
I'm all for it, but I feel like he was like he did it before his nerves got to him, like it was rushed, and it turned out well for him and for her. And for her to say she don't know how to kiss, it looked like she did all right to me. Like it felt like a real kiss. It didn't feel like no grandma peck. It didn't feel like awkward. I didn't mean to cut y'all off, but I'm going back to y'all.
That thing was awkward though. That kiss was nasty. I was like,
nasty good or nasty bad?
I was like, man, this man finna kill her with this strawberry, trying to reach in there and get it out. And I was like, bro, like, come on, man.
The same thing, Tommy. I said he finna choke her with his strawberry. She looked uncoordinated. She looked like she didn't know what to. I'm like, I'm telling you, he gonna kill. She gonna choke.
Right. I was like, bro, you gotta. I'm glad it happened because I've been like, dang, man, you gotta give this man something, But it's like, yeah, that was awkward. Looking at it,
it was awkward, but I feel like it was still good. Like it was like at the end, it was a recovery because I feel like it was his nerves. Like he didn't know that you're supposed to cut them in half. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it was his nerves, and he was like, if I don't do it now, I don't do it now, but he probably could have choked her. If I don't do it
I
now,
was like, man, it's like he gave her the strawberries that have steroids in it, that like the big ones.
he was supposed to cut them in half. He was supposed to cut them in half.
Like, golly, bro, and you put whipped cream in that thing? Like,
not no whipped cream, a whole like half can of whipped cream. That's
She about to choke on national TV. She about to do the Heimlich maneuver on national television.
She talking about let me go get washed up. Yep, man, you better go with her. Go with her, sir.
Nobody's talking about it. I like JW in the chat because he's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. My man really, she needed a man, and he didn't show the masculine energy. I'm not saying Shaq is any type of way. She needed somebody to take control, and he wasn't willing to take control. And that's what she's been looking for the whole time. Not like, oh, what you think, or what you want to do. Sometimes you got to be that guy to say, you know what, this is what we're doing. And you have to lead. And she was looking for a leader, whether it was in the bedroom or whatever case may be. She was looking for, that's why she said, I'm looking for the hugs. I'm looking for the kisses. He needed to come home and say, you know what, even though you're not a great kisser, I'm going to kiss you anyway. Even though you don't like kissing, I'm going to hug you anyway. I'm going to embrace you anyway. You know what, this is what we're doing. Whether Married at First Sight made him do the pain or not, but she's looking for that masculine energy, somebody to take control, because the way she seems reserved. And so she needed him to come in and step in the room and say, you know what, boom. And I agree with you, Tommy. She needed him to stop spending time with his mentees and spend time with her. And she felt lonely. So it's like, hey, and this, because you think about their relationship, the whole show has been about him. Even after the honeymoon, I need to go back to Mississippi. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. When was he really taking care of her? And using that masculine energy to take care of what she needed.
Well, yeah, she did like when he did her, helped her with her logo. And she was like, I find it sexy when a man can do X, Y, and Z. Also, though, I feel like sometimes like I be wanting him to shut up. Like every time she say something, he got a rebuttal. I be wanting him to shut up. Like, shut up. Like with the plants. I don't know if this was this time or the last time, but shut up. Like, shut up. Just shut up. Like, why you got something to say about every damn thing? You know what I mean? Like, you could just be like, all right. Like, it's almost like I say something and because it's different, you got to say something back. I'd probably be the person to say, shut up. Like, just stop. Like, why every time I'm saying something, stop. Like,
you remind me of my Aunt Gina. She'd be like, just hush. Don't hush.
Yeah, because I don't understand why he has to combat everything she says. That's what it feels like to me anyway. I was just interjecting. I don't have nothing else to say. That was pretty much all I got. Not Shaq think he's a motivational speaker.
Right. Yeah. Because that was her thing about it before. You know, you giving me these Martin Luther King speeches. She was like, just don't talk at me, talk to me. I was gonna say, let me add some more levity. Like Shaq when he said, watch what I'm doing with this paint, he acted like he was really gonna draw something.
No, but not even that. I like how she's like, I like when she came in and she's like,
I like what you're doing with that all the way down my arm.
Before that, because we talking about going back to her thickness again. It's like, what you think you're gonna do with these little brushes? He said, I ain't planning on using those. He already knew he was gonna put hands on her.
Yeah.
You know, it just, again, it's something about physical touch. Touching, having somebody touch you, it makes a big difference in the whole grand scheme of things, which makes me think they wasn't touching each other like that. And when she did get touched like that, it made it something different for her.
Well, I'm sure he wasn't touching her like that because she had went through all this talking about his bald head and not being attracted to that. And he was like, but you keep touching my bald head. So I think she was coming out of that. And then when he was talking about all the kissing and he was feeling like, why do I even try? And like he really wanted to do too, but
I'm sorry. You got all.
So he took.
I'm sorry. We on this show and we married, and all. I'm gonna say it this way: all that thickness is laying next to me, and I don't touch. There's a problem. I go back to Michael and Jasmine in Boston. How you let Jasmine be with you, lay with you, and you ain't try to at least slide your hand over and touch?
No, you know this different. Jasmine had Michael scared out of his boots.
What I'm saying is that you have someone who she's telling you to take the lead, and y'all laying beside each other every night. Bruh, take the lead. At least let her shoot you down. then you know where you stand. But if you're not doing anything, it shouldn't have taken the paint party to get them to the place where they're at now. If he was touching and being home and being present, not just physically present, but being emotionally present with her, and it takes her being opening up. That's what I'm just saying.
I said Shaq was just into the painting part.
I agree with him though. I agree. If you pay attention, he was he was concentrating a lot on that painting.
Yeah.
I like when J-Dub talk because J-Dub be thinking some of the stuff I be wanting to say, and I just don't say it. He gonna go on and say it, and I say, But J-Dub,
he was thinking stuff I was thinking too, because I go back to the white bathing suit that we said earlier, right? Here it is. He stayed painting on the arms. I ain't see him paint on the booty. He ain't paint nowhere else. And I know it's for TV, but bruh, if it's a paint thing, cameras would have been off a little bit earlier.
He did paint the top of that, the little buttons down her chest. He could have went down. Look, let me put a button right here. Let me put a button right there.
No, he could look again.
No, I'm saying you talking about the okay. So if I don't dirty up the base, but he could go. He could have went down that cleavage some more. In that cleavage,
they could cut the paint session early.
I'm just saying, man. Can we just celebrate he GTD that night?
No, I don't think he did.
I believe he
don't?
did.
I think he did.
Rubbed up on her. I don't know about GTD.
I think he rubbed up on her. I don't think she gave it to him that night. I think it was
he did. She even said that she was gonna pay him in some anyway.
Yeah, he said he me. He said she was gonna give him a coochie coupon for that.
That's what you call it.
A CC.
A CC for that bid.
He said he got a coochie coupon for this logo. How you want payment?
But Shaq was like, he said he was ready to go. He said, you ain't gotta pay. He was like, yo, all right, let's go. That man, I think he's ready for it, but again, I think he doesn't know how to lead.
I think that in the beginning, all the rejection. Now she don't kiss me. I don't know how. Whatever, all the rejection that she gave him pause. Even if he wanted to try, I want to respect your boundaries because Me Too movement. I want to make sure that I'm not Me Too. I'm not Me Too because you didn't want me to touch your thigh. So I don't know, but he might not know how to lead either. So there's that too.
Like the issue, I think, is that, and this is abstract, so it's just coming out how it comes out. The issue, I think, is that with men, a lot of men don't know how far you can go.
Yeah.
And if you go too far, it's illegal for you. And the rule is vice versa, but the rule is not always. He's finding his voice, guys. He's just finding his voice.
I love it.
But the rule is that double standard, right? The rule is not always there for men to women like it is women to men. Or I might have said that, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. But it's a man has to go just as much as at the speed the lady is going to allow him to, and then you have to figure out, okay, well, I can go this far. Like the painting thing allowed him to touch her in a way that he had not touched her before. And it warranted him that awkward kiss. That awkward kiss said, hey, we doing something tonight. I'm rubbing the butt. Okay, dude, they hear you.
I can't with J-Dub.
That's all I'm gonna say, man, because apparently 4 can't do the.
Oh, Quad got a lot to say. You ain't telling the truth. You ain't telling the truth.
Yeah, no, but no, it's just that rule, and so a man has to take his time. If the lady is not like, let's go tonight, the man has to take his time, and it's looked upon as different because we did look at Aris when Jasmine is like, hey, I'm ready to go, and Aris is like, nah, I don't want to. We looked at that. Of course, we already determined that he was an a-hole, but we looked at that different when he said no. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Shaq, I don't know. It's like Shaq is feminine. He has feminine ways, but I mean, like, who doesn't? it doesn't change him being a man. And if he like women, he like women, you know. And so if it's there, he got a chance to touch her and he got a chance to kiss her.
Come on, Tommy.
Yeah, he getting them draws.
Come on, Tommy. Help him out. Because he is a little intimate. Go on and help him out, Tommy.
Is he feminine or is he like more like kind of metrosexual?
I don't know the difference between the two, but yeah, I think
metrosexual is a little different. And I understand that some men he was raised by his mother, so you pick up, my gestures. Now, neither of my sons have my gestures. I'm a single mother, but neither of them have my gestures. Move like I move. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of them. They actually be like, come on with some of that toxic masculinity. I'd be like, y'all need to knock it off. So, but I do know people that tend to lean a little more heavy in their feminine. And that's only because I've realized the men that like women who lean in their heavy in their femininity is because they are trying to be conscious and understanding and kind. And they've learned a few things about women and how to, and it's a lot of who we are innately. So, he do be showing up though sometimes, but who are we to say? And so that's why I'm all like, go on, Tommy, help him out. Go on, Tommy.
Who are me to judge?
Sitting beside you is one of your sons.
Huh?
Yeah.
One of your sons needs to sit beside you.
One of them?
Yeah.
One of them. They both here, but they not here. They went and got a haircut. Cause my oldest son took the youngest one because I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I missed 2 weekends in a row. I gotta sit down. So he took it. It'd be nice if they would, but they don't watch the show. They won't watch the show. They just want to, I don't know.
Question for you guys both. Question real quick. Tom, I'm gonna let you go real quick. Do y'all think if he got the draws, is the relationship gonna change because he got the draws? Will we see a different dynamic in their relationship now since he got the draws? Good or bad?
Absolutely. Depending on how well it went will determine what we see, right? So if it was a good night, you're going to see a little more closeness, a little between. I mean, she already wanted to spend a lot of time with him, right? It's going to get even more. I feel like the dynamic is going to look a little different. Yes, they sit close to each other now and hold hand, but it'll be more of, I'm not just holding your hand. I'm rubbing on your leg. You know how you sit next to your boo and you're sitting and I'm rubbing on your leg. You know what I mean? I'm touching you more often and it looks more romantic than friendly. Because to me, their touch now looks a lot friendlier than someone who's intimate.
What she said.
I never looked and paid attention to their touch, like in how it looks friendly, anything like that. Because anytime I got a chance to touch a girl, man, it was not friendly. I don't know what's wrong with that boy. I don't know what's wrong with him.
I married him. That's all I can say.
She's gonna stick by me. Yeah, I think the relationship changed. Now it's a thing of, I think it was probably a magical moment for him, just because this is something he's been like, it's always been there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's from day one. This is it for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it's a magical moment. Now it's like, I want to protect this. I have a reason to protect this because this is what, like, I fully have been immersed into her, if that makes sense. Not literally, but figuratively, and at this point, literally. And so it changes the dynamic of how they should move with each other. They shouldn't just.
Yes.
Did you read that comment?
Hey man, I got my hands full. That's all I got to say. Like I said, I think the stuff.
Let me just say that
I have to go through the filter.
It has not been a dull day since I was 26 years old.
As I tell people, she's been smiling since 26. And I'm 36 now.
I'm not 36. Don't put it on me yet.
I'm not. You can have it. But yeah, man, they relationship changed, man.
Cover your ears, Quad. Cover your ears, Quad. Cover your ears.
And I think now will be the time that they can like, okay, we passed that hump. Let's get into this. You know what I'm saying? Let's really figure out what's going on with us, because that was a big wall for them that has been broken down. Is the intimacy part. It's like, how do we involve more intimacy, and how do we kiss more? How do we do this more? How do we do that more? So now that wall is broken down, and they can move forward and do a lot more other things. So
the reason I asked, because the clip they show with her talking about buying a house, do you think she now becomes too clingy, right? Because she's like, yo, you gonna buy the house? I'm sitting here like, you the real estate agent, can't we buy a house together? Why do I have a man
commission check? That's what the you buying us a house was. I want the commission. I want the house, but I also want the commission.
Yeah, but you gonna force him? And Shaq looked at her like, I got student loans. Like, hold on, I'll be in this apartment. So now you can see that they're talking about different things and different dynamics of their moving forward in their relationship, but she somehow still kind of turned him off in a certain way a bit. So I'm gonna see, I just want to see how it moves, because some guys get the draws or GTD, and the lovey-dovey, all the stuff they did beforehand goes out the window, or he gets the draws, and then she feel like wasn't all that, and they go. We saw that with Jacob and Haley in a couple seasons ago when he got the draws. So that's why the question
they had drunk sex.
But yeah, they had drunk. What I'm saying, that's why I'm asking, with those two, because their relationship really wasn't solid before the paint party. Now you throw in getting the draws in the relationship, will it make it closer or make it come apart?
I think it's going to bring them closer.
We'll see.
J-Dub is eating Shaq up. Okay, I'm just going.
Yeah, J-Dub eating Shaq up, man. Look, I had some thoughts too, J-Dub. Trust me, I had some thoughts. I'm trying to keep them PC, but I had some thoughts about Shaq. But I'm just thinking, I'm just keeping it level right now. Anything else with Kirsten and Shaq you guys want to share? Everybody good?
The ice cream man.
Ice cream man.
That's at my house. Oh, let me mute. That's my house. What time is it? It's about the time they come every time. I'm sorry. I be forgetting. Sometimes I be recording and he come down the street and then they stop right here in front of the house.
I just want to put in my order and tell y'all what kind of ice cream.
Hey, it's fake. It's phase on love coming down the street.
No, I felt the Method Man. Ice cream man is coming.
Nope. I felt phase on love from Friday coming down the street. Smoke, you got my money?
I showed with Master P.
I automatically thought of the cream video and the ice cream man. Ice cream.
I went to Friday because she's in, California area. So I'm thinking Friday.
Nothing's wrong with what you thought. I'm just saying I thought different.
I know. You on that East Coast rap. Bump it. You Wu-Tang forever.
Wu-Tang forever.
Wu-Tang forever. Closing thoughts, anybody? Closing thoughts on any of these couples? Your thoughts there?
I know that's right, Quad.
I know
exactly what he said.
Yep.
Hey, I want to tell everybody, thank y'all for joining us. We did something different today because some of y'all are watching from August Love Stories channel. Some of you guys are watching from Talisa Ray's channel. Some of you guys are watching from JacnGlen's channel, and we appreciate each and every one of y'all. It's a new feature on the system that we use, and so we wanted to try it out. So thank all of y'all for joining us, commenting on everybody's page. So we appreciate that. Make sure if you're watching on somebody else's channel and you ain't subscribed to the other channels, just go to the other channels and hit the subscribe button and that bell notification so we can all become family and join in together. So when we do go live, you can choose and pick which page that you want to go to. So we appreciate you guys for doing that. Anybody got anything new coming up, new shows, new promotions that you guys want to promote this week?
Look at Talisa.
Talisa's like, I ain't got nothing new.
I ain't got nothing new. I ain't been doing nothing. I fell off on Ready to Love. Like, what?
You ain't missed nothing.
I did find out a coworker. I got a new volunteer position on the board of directors for our networkers, which is the Black group. And so she was like, "Oh my God, you're Talisa Ray." I don't go by Talisa Ray at work. I was like, "I watch you all the time." I was like, "Holy smoke!" So now you know I'm a real professional woman that I be out here presenting. Now you know. So,
Wait, that's funny. That's like Glenn had a different shirt on because it was Youth Sunday at church, so we dressed down. So he had another shirt on, and he was like, "I better not go on the live with this shirt on because it was for our evangelism department." He was like, "They might be like, what? He talking like that on there with the Kojic stuff on? Lord have mercy." But
yeah, I had to change shirts up on. You know, if you want to check out what I had, check out later. I might drop it later on. But no, we're not reviewing anything else. I might watch Love Is Blind and review that. I am going to start doing Ready to Put a Ring on It because I think this season's interesting. Put a ring on it. I hope Jack could join me and put a ring on it, but if she doesn't, you might just see Glenn.
No, he don't care.
I do care.
He do not care.
You might start seeing Glenn do put a ring on. But I do.
He is in trouble when I find out how to work this stuff by myself.
I said I was going to try to watch Put a Ring on It, but I don't know if I'm going to actually review it. And Tommy is just like, nah, I don't really want to do that.
It's interesting.
I'm not telling y'all. I'm not telling y'all.
Nothing.
One day I just show up and then I don't. Like.
But Artika, you got a YouTube channel. Go ahead and let everybody know where they can hit you up at.
Oh yeah, my YouTube channel is Life with Artika. Right now, it has become gardening ground zero for us. I do a lot of shorts about what's happening with my seedlings and how I'm trying to keep them alive until I can plant them in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know Tommy recorded us this weekend working in the garden. So hopefully that video also goes live on our channel, the August Love Story channel.
She's looking at me because she wants me to say something. I have nothing.
Oh, okay.
Join us on Saturday mornings for our coffee break. Talisa, we know. Yeah, so the coffee breaks, and we always have somehow, since the time change, we have special guests. So,
namely people that I gave birth to.
Yeah. And yeah, ask why, yes. And on Instagram and Facebook, follow us there. YouTube, August Love Story. What else? Yeah, man. Yeah.
I might give this Escaping SWV show a gander just because it has taken over social media because they out here acting a donkey along with
that's what I said.
I may check
That's
that
my
out.
sister.
No, she's just acting a donkey.
How far are they in?
Yeah, how far they in?
Like 3 or 4 episodes, I think.
I
and it's not going to get a season 2. SWV has already said no.
That bad?
Oh, yeah, they are acting a donkey on them.
Matter of fact,
worse than what was the R&B divas? Worse than that?
Yes. Tamar has gotten on the internet and said Candy sound like a billy goat when she sings.
Listen, that whole beef between the two of them is keeping me entertained.
Donkey on the internet. Okay, tonight is the 3rd episode, so I might be able to catch up.
Maybe I'll watch it. I ain't gonna say I'm
gonna watch that. But Tamar and Candy beefing too, so that's a whole different thing. It's 6 episodes. Y'all might watch me watch it. You might watch us watch it. Would y'all watch us watching it live?
Yeah, I would like the couple couch
commentary.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Let's have a look. All right, we talk to y'all later. Gonna have a conversation off here. Talk to y'all.
Thank y'all for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.